Hi there. I want to welcome you back to Enemy of My Truth. And in today's episode, I am flying solo with some listener questions. And so I thought today would be a really good opportunity to dig into some of those questions that have come in for me. So we're going to just kind of tap into this, and I'm going to share what I have and see what we can kind of dig into and unfold. So, one of the first questions I get, and I get this quite a bit, is because I'm psychic, does it just mean that I can read anybody's mind, like what they're thinking? And absolutely not. I think I would probably go crazy if I could do that. And it would be, quite frankly, very overwhelming. So, no, if I'm out and about and you see me at the grocery store or at, a lacrosse game or somewhere locally, I'm not just walking past you and thinking, oh, so this is what they have going on or this is what they're thinking about. There's a very strong practice to honor someone's free will and to always ask permission to tap into somebody's energy. And there's also this intention that when I do step into my psychic work, there has to be that agreement that I can actually tap into your energy field to see what I can see. And even then, it can take some time just to look in there to see what I'm shown. It's not instant messaging. I'm not that I'm just seeing things or thoughts. It takes some time to connect that link. And again, with permission and with a sense of, you know, trust that you have with the individual. I'm not just spewing things out and sharing it with you or the world. So, no, I cannot read your mind. I can feel your energy, though. I can feel an energy, whether you have a smile on your face and I'm feeling something very different. I can feel the energy going to any type of location, an event, to be around people. And I pick up sadness quite a bit. I pick up anger. So those things I do pick up, but I'm not reading specific things inside your mind. So I just want to share that bit of it because I get asked that quite a bit. Okay. Oh, yeah. So here's another question, kind of aligned with that is, can I see things psychically for myself the way that I read other people's energy? And I cannot very easily do that. And it's probably a good thing. Um, I I rely on my intuition to guide me to make the best choices. But what's interesting for me, and this can be for some psychics, that, some things are blocked for me for probably a good reason. So I can figure it out. So I can actually, navigate life and why I'm stepping into it and why I'm here. So I'm not seeing psychic imagery of myself. I will get hits occasionally, like I'll get a vision of something in my mind, but for the most part, I take my choices and decisions day by day and let my intuition guide me if it's the best route. And then if I look back, I realized that I listened to that internal guidance system and I realized that I was being pulled and I was trusting myself to step into the right space or to make that choice. So no, I don't see psychic visions for myself. It would be kind of cool, but probably very overwhelming too, to be honest. All right. So, what are my thoughts on past lives? Past lives are amazing. I like to refer to past lives as simultaneous lives, that they're happening right now. And what I mean by that is when I am connecting to the non physical world, there is no linear time. Uh, the past, the present, and the future all work at the same time. And it can be a lot to take that in to think about it. Um, but what I'm always shown in the work that I've done and through the teachers I've worked with is that the soul can be splintered, meaning that the non physical part of ourself that's always a non physical, the soul's holographic. And so it can be splintered off, having several life experiences, not only here, but in other lifetimes, as male or female, as an oak tree, in different forms to grow the soul. And so I absolutely believe in past lives. I believe a part of ourselves are living out other experiences as we speak right now. But for our consciousness, our human mind, it can be very overwhelming to think that way. And what I like to say is think of it that when sometimes you meet somebody for the first time, whether you're sitting on next to them on an airplane, or you run into them in a coffee shop, or you're in a class, and you just feel this immediate connection to them, like you feel like you've known them forever. Um, People like that typically, not always, but typically will see patterns that you know each other in several lifetimes. You have had this dance with one another in many ways. Perhaps they were a brother to you or a sister. Maybe they were your grandparent. But there's something deep inside of them that feels really familiar and you don't know how to put your finger on it. And you feel like you're going crazy because you may never see them again, but you've never stopped thinking about them. And also, a lot of people in our soul families that come back are here to teach us. And so, a lot of people who trigger us are absolutely part of our soul tribe families that come back and forth. They're here to allow us to grow and to move through something. So, yes to past lives. That could be a whole podcast on its own, and it probably will be. My favorite books on that, two books, if I'm going to hopefully say the titles correctly. Journey of Souls and Destiny of Souls by Dr. Michael Newton. The OGs, incredible reads. And Many Masters, Many Lives, or Many Lives, Many Masters by Dr. Brian Weiss. Fantastic. And my all-time favorite that kind of dives into this as well about why our soul's here for this in particular incarnation. We were here is Your Soul's Plan by Robert Schwartz. Read the first chapter called The Pre-Birth Planning. And all these books kind of tie in together and make you ponder, make you think. And I find that when you read a book, I don't know if you feel this way, but sometimes these books that we're reading and this information we're getting feels so familiar to us because it is. It can feel like we can't get enough of it. We just want more, and our curiosity grows. And I find that that's just because your soul is coming home to something that it knows, that it's remembering, right? Versus really learning. And we just want to align more with that and people who are talking more about those things, right? And it's not always easy to find those people. And sometimes the only way we can find that tribe is with a book. You know, sometimes we don't have people to talk to. And I remember that feeling very early on in my journey. And when I would find those teachers and those students, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like you've come home. So the next best thing is the beautiful energy in a book and from who it came from and the writer. So does spirit see everything that we are doing? Yes, but how do I say this? Yes, our loved ones see everything that we're doing, but they don't care in the way that we care. Spirit is not connected or attached to this physical world and this physical plane and the material things the way that we are. They're not even attached to the physical body the way that we are. What spirit notices is your emotional state. Every time I'm in a reading and I'm connecting to spirit, they will always pull me to someone's emotional state. Are they happy? Are they sad? Because at the essence of why our soul's here is to feel good, is to live with purpose, and to not be in a place of fear or anger, upset. So spirit watches us, but not the way that we think they do. And that ties into another question I have right here. Is my loved one okay that I remarry or date somebody else or I'm with somebody else? And always it's a yes. Because what spirit shows me is that it's not seen as replacing the love connection or the energy you have with that person. That's now in spirit. It's about your soul still being here in this earth school and that it's meant to be loved and you're meant to love somebody else. And so, there's never this feeling of them being replaced. It's almost like there's an encouragement that it's okay to go on. In fact, you should. And so they're absolutely okay with your heart feeling love for another because, again, spirit feels your emotional state and always wants what's for the highest. And I find that when I'm in a mediumship reading and people are wanting to connect to their loved one, which is why they're there for the reading, if someone's coming in to see me and they're going through a lot of turmoil, usually the spirit will be wanting to direct the conversation to the client about where they're stuck and wanting to make it very clear that they're very aware of what they're going through and how to help them move through that before they start sharing messages for them that could be about how the spirit's doing in life, or if they have a question for spirit, like, are we ever going to settle the estate after your passing? Or should, I sell so and so the car? They won't tend to go to those questions because they know that your heart is hurting with other matters in your life. And so I find they redirect and really want to help the person that's here. And that had probably led me into really stepping into my intuitive guidance for my clients, because I would have clients come in for a mediumship reading, connecting with their loved ones. And, there's a temporary connection to that. And does it feel incredible? Yes. Is it healing? Absolutely. Is there so much love there? Yes. But what I have found with the clients who would leave, that there's an emptiness after the reading, that filled a void for them for only so long, but that they were still struggling in their everyday way of being. And so then there was more of this nudge from spirit to say, can you help the man? Can you help them beyond this reading? Can you help guide them? Like, almost spirit comes through me. It's the way that I can only explain it. It's like spirit comes through me, which that happens in mediumship, but this feels different. There's this drive and this need to help support this person and to help them get unstuck, to not feel sadness, to not feel fear, to help them navigate an issue. And so I really feel that energy come through spirit. And that's how my work has changed quite a bit, from still doing mediumship, but really getting into the guidance to help those here in the living live their best course. Let's see if I have time for just another one. Do spirits feel pain in the spirit world, in the non-physical? And no, what I am shown when spirit exits is they leave the vessel. They leave the vessel, and the soul transfers. As we can't ever destroy energy, it can only be transferred in form. So the soul comes out of the vessel, and when it goes to the non-physical, and it goes through some processes to be there in stages of healing and life review of the life it just came from, they're free of everything associated with the human condition, the ego. So they release pain, anger, addiction, disease, all the things, violence, loneliness, sadness. They release that like a heavy cloak, and they like leave that here almost. And when they go home, they're just light. So when I am connecting with spirit, they are nothing but like absolute love. It's like the highest version of the individual that was here. Even if somebody, say, had addiction issues, or was quite abusive or violent, they will show me their personality being here and how they showed up as a human being. But the essence of them is always from a place of absolute compassion, because the higher part of ourselves, at a soul level, is absolute compassion and love. It rises above. It's like we go from being the kindergarten in this earth school to graduating to being the senior. And it's reflective no matter what they've done when they were here. So that people can have a lot of fear connecting to a loved one, especially when the relationship was tumultuous. And I always know those spirits come in cautiously, because they don't want to overwhelm the loved one here, because they know that the spirit knows that their behavior here wasn't healthy for them. And so I always find that spirit's not looking for forgiveness. They're just looking to really own who they were in this lifetime and reflect on who they were now that they are back in the spirit world, and almost acknowledge what they put those people that they love here through. And they're not looking to, again, ask for forgiveness, but just letting the person know that's living that they can identify their actions. And that in itself is extremely, extremely healing and beautiful to witness. So I kind of went off on a tangent with that about how they feel pain, but not only do they not feel pain, they come from a place of emotional balance and forgiveness and and seeing their role in that past lifetime. So that is what I am shown. So that's going to wrap it up today. It's kind of a quick episode, but I just wanted to kind of share some of these questions, and I always love hearing questions and reflections. And if you want to contribute or have questions for us, send it into the email at anna@donnell.com. Don't be shy. Grateful to always have you be tuning in and to be here. And I'll be doing some more of these Q&As as we get a lot of questions, and it's just kind of fun and cool to talk about it. So thanks for being here, and have a great week. Take care.